welcome to the Zoomers and the YouTubers. It's really nice that you've decided to spend some time on the mat. We're going to go deeper into your hips than you've ever gone. And there'll be some safety tips for knees, but I think you'll all be good. I think it'll work out. So those of you who have a favorite playlist, just get it going. And we're going to actually start on all fours. I got to tuck my shirt in. I'm trying to wear some brighter clothes now that it's so dark outside, so that the filming is good for the YouTube channel. And it's also good for the Zoomers to be able to see. So we're going to start here with your knees hip-width apart. And the first thing I'd like you to do is to put press all 10 toenails into the floor. And really feel what that is doing. It's stretching things that you probably have not stretched yet today. And then I'd like you to look at your hands and lift all your fingers off the floor, but feel the rim of the palm of your hand on the floor. Now press the base of your thumbs and then the sides of your thumbs, and then the tip of your index finger, and then the base of the index finger, and then the baby finger, and then the others. And then I want you to feel that there's a possibility that you could suction cup up the middle of the palm of your hand. You're still pressing your toenails into the floor. And then look forward, squish your armpits close, bend your elbows, and now with that action in your fingertips and your toe tips, I'd like you to tilt your hips back in a cow pose, and eyes and heart are coming forward. Oh. And then tucking the tail, I'd like you to tuck your toes. Still have that activity in your fingers and suction up the middle of the palm as you curl and go into angry cat. And then pull those forearms towards each other so you really feel that. And then inhale, cow back, all 10 toenails on the floor. This time, I'd like you to feel those 10 toes, but lean forward, not if it hurts your knees, and lift. I'm going to just turn. Lift your shin bones off the floor so that now there's even more movement in that spine. Tuck your toes. Move into your first down dog, but make it really fluid. So press down and forward, ears near your arms. Let's get rid of that day. So sigh, groan, moan, ears near your arms. And when you're sighing and groaning and moaning, you may want to even smile at yourself, because it's kind of humorous to sigh and groan and moan all by yourself. You're going to pivot the left foot. You're going to look at the right thumb. Bring your right knee into your chest. Right foot, right thumb. Front knee over ankle. Sweep. Whoa. Sweep your arms up. Bend your elbows. Warrior one. Thumbs coming behind your heart. We're going to do this slowly. Inhale. Arms coming up. Exhale. Bend your elbows. Inhale. Straighten the leg. Pivot the back foot. Exhale, warrior two. You'll thank me later that we warmed up your hips and your legs, but not probably now. Look at your right middle finger. Yep. Then exhale, straighten-ish the front leg. Start tilting over the right leg. Keep your head in line with your spine as you're moving into triangle. Left arm up. Feel everything. Could be a lot of feelings here. Bend that front knee. Remember, you can use your blocks, so have them handy as you go into extended side stretch. Front knee over ankle, left arm up. Inhale, left arm goes up even higher, few more millimeters. Exhale, left arm over left ear. Keep your throat open. Keep breathing. Front knee over ankle. Left hand on the left hip. Come on up. Straighten your legs. Warrior two. Looking at right middle finger. And of course, you know what we need to do? We need to go to the other side. So windmill the arms, all 10 toes in the same direction. Separate your feet so they're hip width apart. So check the back foot. You might have to move the right foot further over to the right. Curl your back a lot. Pull your belly in. Feel your right leg get a little bit lighter as you move into down dog. Ha. Side groan moan. Ha. Pivot the right foot. Look at left thumb. Bring your left knee into your chest. Left foot comes forward. Getting ready for warrior one and standing work on this side. Come on up. You can always help yourself up any way that you need to. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Thumbs behind your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, thumbs behind your heart. Inhale, straighten-ish both legs. Pivot the back foot, get your feet into warrior 2 feet. Arms coming parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, front knee over ankle. Feel those feet. We activated them. It was one of the first things we've done in this sequence. So go back to those toes. Inhale, straighten-ish the front leg. Exhale, tilt like a windmill. Head going over that left leg. Triangle, right arm going up. Feel everything. Be grateful for all the feelings. Look down. Bend that front knee. This is where you can take the block. On the outside is preferable. Open up your chest. Left rib cage over that left leg. Throat is open. Inhale, right arm going up. Extended side stretch. If you want to go a little further, shoot the arm bone over your right ear. Fingers really wide. Go deeper. Nice. Look down. Pull your feet towards each other. Front knee still over ankle. Exhale, deeper, warrior 2. Your legs should start to feel a little bit challenged, or if you're super strong, you can do this over again, I guess. Windmill the arms. Separate your feet, check the back foot, make sure it's hip width apart. Curl your back a lot, pull belly in. Try to make that left leg lighter by pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. Press down and forward, down dog. So breathing into this dog. Of course, your feet can be further apart, further away from your hands, so it gives you a little more space. You have bend your knees as much as you need to. Ears near your arms. And we're going to come all the way forward into a squat to start with. So I just want you to do like kind of a before squat, and then when we do all of our stuff, notice your after squat. So have your feet nice and wide, your kneecap going the same direction, and then bring your hands, your thumbs into your sternum. Bring those forearms parallel to the floor, and see if you can't feel like the hips are going down and the head is going up. Nice. Now bring your arms forward, curl your back a lot. We're going to kerplunk ourselves onto the floor, but we're going to take our time to stretch that low back, and then arms forward. Duck the tail, whoop, kerplunk. Now for this, have your blocks nearby, just in case you would like to use them. And the first thing we're going to do is bring, and some people really enjoy the sitting on the block for this particular one, me included. So I'm going to sit on my block, bring the soles of my feet together, and try to get the four corners organized. So the four corners are the base of the big toe, the fleshy part, and then the base of the baby toe, and two corners of the heel. So we're going to just hang here for a moment. So this sequence is taken from a faster Yangy kind of class where the transitions are very quick and almost it's like inhale, pause, transition, exhale, next pose. So this one we're going to take advantage of the idea around yin, which is to hold poses. And there's a beautiful sequence that's going to open our hips. And sitting up on a block, hope Linnell's still there. Sitting up on a block, and now we can take the balls of our feet with our thumbs and open up the feet like the pages of a book and read the footnotes. Okay, great. Thanks, Linnell. I don't know what the heck happened just then. That's never happened, like from 8 months of Zoom. And I don't just do Zoom for the yoga, I do Zoom for everything else as well. So anyway, here we are, opening up our hips. Pull those feet, yeah. And then if you're on a block, just take the block out for this next thing. And I'm going to try to face the iPad so you get an idea. Your legs are going to be wide and your kneecaps are going to go in the direction of your second and third toe. And just rock from side to side so that your pelvis relaxes a little bit. Then take on the inside of your ankles, take those ankles. And now when we're doing this, I just want to say that it could be that your feet flop open naturally for some of these things. So just make sure that the knee is going in the same direction and you'll be great. So we're going to have a little bit of a battle. We're going to have our upper body and our back body fight our strong legs. So we're going to bend our elbows, and as much as you're pushing the inside of this knee and close up to that thigh bone, femur, you are pushing back. So we're having a little battle to exhaust and wake up these tendons and these muscles. So I'm feeling like there's quite a difference between left and right side. There's always something happening. Yeah. So push those legs towards those arms. Arms, push those legs away. Yeah. Really feel that there is some heat. Heat, like the fire behind me. Heat coming into your legs, into your body. Okay, great. Ooh, come on up. So taking your left hand, I want you to touch your right shoulder and roll that right shoulder. You've done this move a few times before, but not for a while, so let's see what's happening. So roll the right shoulder, elbow towards the front of your mat, and then flex the right palm so it's to the floor, facing the floor. And then either put your hand in front of your right hip, or if you have a little more movement in your shoulder, you take your right hand and put it behind your buttock. Now, your head is a lot of weight that's going to help with this pose. And the pose is really leaning over. Now, this is where the right foot is going to open up. Leaning over. Now, this is not about hurting your right shoulder. It's about opening up your hip. So if you can't bring your hand behind your buttock, just lean over that right leg, or even like take your arm and lean into your arm over that leg. If your hand is behind, open up your throat. Left arm goes up to the ceiling. Some of you will maybe want to go a little further. You bend the left elbow so it goes to the back of your mat. Left palm facing the floor and lands on top of that right hand. And then you lean over it like you're going to fall asleep. You're just going to fall asleep. You're going to fall over completely. Keep breathing. And since this is a yin class, we're going to hold this for a little longer than just half a breath or a few breaths. Notice what moves when you're leaning and opening up your chest. to the ceiling. And then, whoa, slowly come out of it. And I want you to feel the difference. Land your right foot, grab those ankles again, push the legs open. Notice what's happened to the right leg with hardly any work on your behalf other than falling over. Let's try the other side. Right hand on the back of that left shoulder. Roll it forward. Bend your elbow so it faces the front, and then flex your hands so the palm is on towards the floor. And test it out. Either your hand goes in front of your left buttock so that you can just lean over, or maybe it sneaks behind, goes behind the left buttock, so the shoulder and left rib cage are falling over that left thigh, and that's when all of a sudden you'll have to flex that left foot or let the left foot do what it needs to do. Lean back. Keep the throat open because there's so much stuff happening here, and we want the head to be part of this work. Whoa. And noticing one side and then the other. And then right arm bone up. Look up. If you've got that right arm bone up at this point. And those of you who want to go a little further, bend your right elbow. Point it to the back of your mat. Palm facing the floor. Keep opening up your chest. Land your right hand over your left. So left foot has to let go a little bit because you are opening up that left hip. Breathe. And then inhale, come on up. Whoa. Whew. And then you're going to take your ankles again and you're going to push those legs open. Now that we have them pushed open, maybe you have to rock a little bit to get the buttocks released a little bit as well. But now that you're pushing open, I want you to push back. So let the feet flop open, but really use the muscles of your legs to try to fight the pushing open. And you'll see that you're in a different place now. Nice. Keep going. Then come on up. We're going to do this next thing, several things coming up, one leg at a time. So try hard not to anticipate one side and then the other side, because it could be, you're like a curious child. It could be very interesting, the other side. So you're going to bring your feet together, and then you're going to take this crook of your arm and you're going to put it underneath your left knee. Now I'm going to take this right leg out of the way so you can see. It can be bent, it can be whatever works for you, but we want to see if we can't get this left foot in line, and it's easy because you can look at it with your nose and your belly button and your eyes, and see how high you can bring it up, and then take the palms of your hands and make that face your body, and then hug. You can use both arms. Yeah. And then switch so that there's a little bit of a different situation in your back body so that the palm is facing forward. And see, I'm noticing already that I'm favoring going over to the side. So make sure you go back into the center. And you can pull that leg a little closer. Yeah. And then let it come down. And of course, we're going to switch. You're going to get the back of your right knee in the crook of your right arm. And you can flip your hand so it first faces your body. Try to get the shin bone up as high as you can. And the way that you can do that is to lift your arm so it's parallel, trying to get the shin bone parallel to the floor, and then experiment with, where does this have to be so that I know that I'm using both the front body and my back body. Nice. Okay, you know what's going to come up next, eh? Yeah. So I'm going to give you a tip. There is a sweet spot on your sit bones where this is possible, both legs coming up. And the way that we stay on that sweet spot is we pull our belly in and lengthen through our waistline. So get all of that organized. So Mula Bandha, pull up your pelvic floor, belly button to the backbone, and then take one leg and then the other leg. If you fall back, make sure that you're not near a wall like me. You're going to click your heels like Dorothy, and you're going to flip the palms of your hands to the front, and you're going to pull those legs. So, yeah. Breathe. Ooh, there's a lot of work here. I'm thinking that you're getting warm. I'm thinking. Fingers really wide. Lift the legs up even higher. Notice what you have to do. Flex those toes towards the shins. Ooh, nice. Slowly back on the floor. Woo. So this next thing, we're going to do one at a time, and then we're going to do both. And this one particularly is important that you're not, if you fall out of it, you're just going to fall backwards, but don't be near a wall. So I'm going to just make sure if I fall backwards, I'm not going to hurt my head. But one of the things about falling in yoga is if you smile, you totally relax, and chances are you won't hurt a thing. So bring the legs close in. You can either grab your toe in yogi grip, or the side of your foot, or your calf muscle, or your thigh, underneath your thigh. But the idea is first, there we go, get on that sit bones, pull the belly in, lengthen through the waistline. Inhale into your heart, exhale, the leg comes forward straight, and you're going to have to find that angle where the leg is makes sense for straight for you. Now, don't have that arm straight. Bend that elbow and hold that heavy leg up. Yeah, and I find for this one, if I bring the other foot a little bit closer, it's more of I feel more stable. Pull your belly in, lengthen through the waistline. Experiment with what happens when you bring it forward. Remember, we want a straight leg as best as we can, so that's why you have options to grab the calf muscle or grab the thigh or the toe or the foot. Keep that elbow bent. Keep your back body working for you. And then, let's switch. So just take a moment. Woo. And then grab, and then who knows how this leg is going to be, so don't anticipate. Straighten it, bend your left elbow. Experiment with where it should be. In front, how it feels. Pull your belly in, lengthen through your waistline. Woo. Nice. Yeah. Bend that elbow even more. Lengthen through the waistline even more. Take one more big inhale. Exhale. Bring that foot to the floor. Okay, so now you know where we're going to go. We're going to try both. So just rock back and forth and get yourself kind of relaxed a little bit. This could be your big day where it happens. And remember, you can grab any part of your leg that makes sense for you. So, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor lift, belly button to the backbone. We're only going to move into this pose on an exhale, so take an inhale into your heart. Exhale, one leg, the other leg. Woo! Bend your elbows, so that's going to bring your legs a little bit closer. It might throw you off, or maybe it won't. Maybe it's more stable. Chest is lifting. For those of you who've nailed this one, you could lean back, pull your belly in, and bring the legs together. Whoa, this is so hard to do. If you bend your elbows, I'm trying to see if I can do it today. Bend your elbows and bring your forehead even closer to your shins. And now that we've done all of that and we feel our heat, let's bring our feet really, really close. Get up on your block. Bring them closer than when we first began. And let them flop open, but let them flop open evenly. So if they're not flopped open evenly, or the idea of flopping open, because initially the feet are so like they just don't flop open. So you could just take your thumbs and open them up evenly. Try to do this evenly. And then, oh, that goes right deep into the hips. Allow those knees to relax towards the floor. And that's the advantage of being up on a block is the legs, the weight of the legs have no choice, which is great. So we talked about when we first started to check in on our squat, which also is a really great pose to have in our repertoire, in our body for a very long time. Let's hope forever. Land your feet. You could start on your block, separate your feet and bring your hands again together, fingers to the ceiling, and then bring those forearms parallel. So when you do that, you'll feel that your legs have to separate a little bit. Bring your chest up. If you don't need your block, this I like to do also against a wall, which is really nice because you can relax. So if you have a wall, go against, perhaps you can use it right at this moment. And we'll hang here. Think of this as, you know, the nicest child's pose. Or the nicest on your back happy baby pose. But we're using the whole weight of our torso, the whole weight of the pelvis to reinforce that opening that we just did. Nice. Bring your hands forward, curl your back. Maybe you bring your feet a little more parallel. Maybe you swish from side to side so you can feel that low back releasing. It's like giving a little love to your low back. And then kerplunking yourself onto the floor. Bring your block with you. Make sure that they're mid-mat. You're going to take the soles of your feet again together. Pull the flesh out. And then elbows. Again, we're going to have this little battle, but now we're a little lower. So this battle is going to be really, really deep. Your fingers are pointing towards each other. Your elbows are out to the side. Your arms are 90 degrees. And as much as you're pushing down, oh my goodness. As much as you're pushing down, you're pushing up. You might be feeling this. Whoa. And then release. Ooh. Take your hands behind, lift your hips and bring them a little closer to your feet, or the best you can. And then you will find that once you do that, you've created some space in your low back. You're going to come down on your elbows, one at a time. Oh. And then you're going to, if you need the blocks, they're there. We don't want your knees to hurt. No, 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 no. And if you feel that you can relax your legs a little bit better, mine are shaking by this time, a little bit better by blocking up your thighs, then go ahead and do that. And if you want to grab your elbows above your head so that you can pretend that this is like so comfortable, but of course we're getting a lot of feedback. Make sure you take big inhales all the way to your lowest rib, and when you exhale, let the whole day go. Inhaling and moving the air all the way up into your armpits. Hold it. It's beautiful to practice breath retentions whenever you remember
particularly in yoga, but even off the mat, it's really great. And then you exhale, breathing. Sigh, groan, moan, laugh. We're going to think about our left foot, and we're going to bring the left sole of the foot on the floor, left knee to the ceiling, and you're going, if you have a block underneath your right thigh, you may want to remove it. And remember that if you are feeling shakiness, that means this practice is really good for you. It's really getting into the areas that need the space, the connective tissue, all of those areas that are surrounding your hip socket that want more space. That's what's happening. We're going to switch, but we're going to make it all one flow. So as the right knee comes up to the ceiling, the left knee, the left leg goes to the floor, right foot on the floor. Noticing differences. You can have your arms out, scarecrow style if you'd like, or switch your arms if you have them above your head. Maybe just switch which arm is in front or furthest away from your head. Inhaling, exhaling, feeling, lots of feelings. Land your left foot on the floor. Allow your knees to gently tend towards each other and chill. Feel the femurs slide down into the hip socket. And as you watch them with your mind's eye, they slide down even further, become more relaxed and more settled. Try to let go of tension in your belly. You have your blocks nearby. We're going to do a supported bridge pose, but let's get our feet set up properly and our arms set up properly before we go for our blocks. So bring your feet as close as you can to your buttocks, and then allow your arms to be long alongside your body. So palm to the floor, and then see if you can't touch the back of your heel with the longest finger, and then move the heels away, just a few centimeters. And then dig your elbows in, take an inhale into your heart, exhale, lift your hips, and grab your block, and put your block at the height that makes sense for you. Now this was a pretty big hip opener. We may have opened up things that will allow you to have a more open supported bridge pose. So always check in on your body. You never know when it might happen. And then if you can, interlock your fingers to the webbing underneath your buttock and have your baby fingers touching the floor and the side of your wrist, then go ahead and you will be squishing your shoulder blades towards each other. So inhale into that. All the way from pelvic floor, all the way to your clavicles, to your throat. When you exhale, have heavy feet, heavy pelvis, heavy the middle of the back of your head. Just hang here and let the body have its space, your organs, your breath, your nervous system powered up. Now it can release energy. Pull your feet towards your block, lift your toes, inhale, right up into your heart. Exhale, take the other hand and remove the block, but keep your hips high and bend your elbows and bring them close in to your body, fingers to the ceiling. Your toes are lifted, they're activated. Pull your feet towards your head. Inhale again. I hope you exhaled after that last one. And then tuck the tail. Press the toes into the floor. Feel like everything is going into the central channel. Now move your elbows out so that you can have space for the back of your heart. You can have your arms at scarecrow style. Keep tucking the tail, keep going so slowly. Keep pulling your feet towards your head so that you are able or to imagine that you can feel every single vertebrae. Go slow. Because when we go slow, the reward is so delicious. That's what it is. And get your pelvis on the floor. Knees together, feet apart. And then just feel. So lumbar curve and cervical curve. Take your hands, make sure that you've created them. And then once you've created them, let the back of your heart melt. Inhaling, exhaling. Bring your knees into your chest. Hug. And then roll over to one side. Push yourself up with bent knees. Fingertips if you'd like, elbows bent. Come onto your tummy.
It's going to be a little bit of a groan fest coming onto your tummy. I'd like you to find those 10 toenails again. Forehead on top of that. And let what needs to be melting, let it melt. So there might be quite a lot of information happening in the lumbar or in your waistline or wherever it is that your information has to be processed. That's fine. Then come up onto your elbows for Sphinx pose. And if you need to shift your hips from left to right, or you just need to just fidget like a snake so that you can feel things melting and relaxing and letting go, then you do that. You can relax your feet now. When you inhale, I'd like you to pull your forearms towards the back of your mat. When you exhale, just drop your head and puff up the back of your heart. So it's like the tiniest little angry cat. And then pulling your hands towards the back of your mat, this tiniest little cow back. And then press down and forward with your forearms. Let your head drop back of your heart. Reaching. And then come to neutral. Nice. Nice. We're going to do something that I think adds this element of play, which of course I love. If you are watching my YouTube channel or you're a Zoomer, you know I like to have fun. It's the thing that motivates me and others to come to the mat, to have fun, to try different things. We're going to move into child's pose. It can be wide-kneed or not. And if you want a really tight child's pose, you roll your shoulders down near your knees, palms open to the ceiling. Feel the tissues. Make sure your lowest rib is moving. And bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. And we're going to start at the back of our mat. And we're going to walk to the front of our mat in a very specific way on our butts. Your legs are going to be really wide. And for this one, even if you've done this one in other classes with me, I want you to use the weight of both your arms and your torso for this opening. So it's the widest kind of twist ever. So when our knees are up, we take an inhale. We'll all go over to the right. When you exhale, I want you to bring your whole torso, your arms, all the way over to your right shin, or just go as low as you can go. Now, in order to keep your knees safe, you flex your feet. Inhale, knees coming up. Exhale, crawl over. Now, we're trying to walk to the top of the mat by moving these hips from left to right. But if you're not able to and you're just stuck at the back, then simply take your hands behind and give yourself a little shove. Nobody's watching. You do the modifications you need and come over. Feel how much movement there is in your hips, even now at the end of this practice, or almost near the end of this practice. Inhale, knees coming up. Exhale. You could smile. End of practice. Everybody likes to hear that. We all come here for the same thing. Shavasana. And YouTubers, we always put a piece of Shavasana music at the end of each YouTube video. But you can always pick your own music. And of course the Zoomers are picking their own music. If you're a YouTuber, you get to pick the whole length of your Shavasana. You could decide to stop the YouTube video and just go for it. Stay there for half an hour, however much you need it. There isn't a better rest. Even sleep isn't as good as the most excellent Shavasana. Inhale, knees coming up, moving forward. Take your time. Oh, so much still moving. Coming up, inhale, exhale. Knees to the ceiling. Almost to the top. We're almost to the top. Oh. Coming up. It's like you're lying over that leg. I'm running out of space with my wall. My head is hitting it, but you know what I mean. You don't have to run out of space. And you come to the top of your mat. Land your feet. Get your blanket organized. I've got a nice pink one today. It's so cozy. Get your Shavasana music organized. And just help yourself down. Try to be very melty, very puddly. And since you're practicing on your own, in your own space, with your own rules, you can have your arms out any way that you'd like, palms open to the ceiling. You can flop your feet open wider than your mat. You don't have to worry about touching another mat, another person. You do the most comfortable position for you. Now check in on your face. Check in on your forehead. Take out all the wrinkles. Your eyebrows soft. The space between your eyebrows. Feel your eyeballs sinking, relaxing. Your jaw soft. Your lips soft. Your throat relaxed. The back of your neck relaxed. Your whole body heavy. Your whole body letting go.
deep breath. Begin wiggling just your fingers. Coming back into your room. And then let your hands be still. And then wiggling your toes. And then letting them be still. And then bringing your legs together. Roots of toes. Gently press your toes away from your head. And then reach your arm bones up and overhead. Interlock your fingers to the webbing and release the index fingers. Inhale. Hold that breath. Exhale. Let it all go. Bring one knee and the other knee into your chest. Curl your back into a tight little ball. Hug, hug, hug. You don't have to have your head up, but if you can, it doesn't bother you, then go ahead and really curl that back. Inhale into it. Exhale, squish everything even more. And then roll over to one side. Use your arm as a pillow. Feel your whole body react to gravity. Begin easy breathing so you begin to feel all your ribs moving with your breath. And then notice your calmer, more peaceful body and your calmer, more peaceful mind, and how this feels. Put a lot of detail into this memory. Temperature of your room, how your clothing feels, the music, everything. Use your fingertips. Push yourself up to seated so that we can share a grounding breath. Cross your legs. Flex your feet and then rub your legs awake. Bring your hands into the middle of your chest, thumbs touching your sternum. Take a big inhale. Cool air. And then exhale, humble your brain to your heart so you feel the warm air pass your fingers. This is the perfect time in our practice together to practice gratitude. Thank you so much for taking the time to come to the mat, to serve yourself, to take care of yourself. It means the world to me that you are doing this. Thanks so much. Namaste.